must have felt your tears when they took me from your arms. I'm sure I must have heard you say goodbye. Young and so afraid, had you made a big mistake? Could an ocean even hold the tears you cried? But you had dreams for me, you wanted the best for me, and you made the only choice you could that night. And you gave life to me, a brand new world to see, like playing baseball in the yard with Dad at night. Mom reading Goodnight Moon and praying in my room. So if you worry if your choice was right, when you gave me up, oh, you gave everything to me. And if I saw you on the street, would you know that it was me? And would your eyes be blue?
Among the comments that have been said to these parents in the past is they should have aborted Christian. It's fueled a fire in Lacey to prove otherwise.
Everyone who meets him falls in love with him.
She's vowed to help Christian thrive and change the outlook of others. His fans on Facebook multiply by the day with every picture and update that's posted on their public page.
It's awesome to be able to share that joy with so many other people who've never even met him.
There you go.
He's the light in their lives, a pure blessing that began as a question of whether he would survive. Christian will need surgeries into his teen years to reconstruct the cleft, and aside from being blind, he's a perfectly normal, healthy young boy.
Christian has to do things differently, but you know, he's going to be okay. And it's okay that he's got to do it differently, and it's okay that he looks different.
Martin Luther King Jr. said the Negro cannot win if he's willing to sacrifice the futures of his children for immediate personal comfort and safety. And that's exactly why people choose abortion, for immediate personal comfort or safety. And so he would say injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. And I believe he would agree with me when I say that a woman has a right to choose what she does with her body. The baby is not her body.
So you believe that there will be rationing, aka death panels?
It's built into the plan. It's not like a guess or like a judgment. That's going to be part of how costs are controlled.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
but I'll say something else about that issue, which is we do need to do some of that in this country because we can't afford to spend so much on end-of-life care. A very high percentage of our healthcare spending is for a very small number of people at the last stages of their life. I'm not saying the system shouldn't allow that, but there's too much cost there. Judgments have to be made. We have to decide.
Made by who, Mark? Mark, made by who? The government?
By individuals.
But it's not going to be made by individuals. If you say it's included in the healthcare.
But it's not now. It's not now for many people who have insurance. Their insurance companies make those decisions.
But they don't pull. It's very rare that they. In other words, if someone needs a bypass, the insurance company doesn't say put him in a hospice or give him a pill like Tom Daschle told me that he would do. I mean,
sometimes people run up against caps and and costs with their insurance that make it impractical to get certain kind of coverage. But don't draw me into a false argument here about what I'm saying. All I'm saying is, as a society, we need to have this discussion in an honest and straightforward way, because we can't afford everything, every instance that people would like to have.
I'm adopted, and my biological mother was 17, and so was my biological father. She was 7.5 months pregnant when she decided to go to Planned Parenthood, which is the largest abortion provider in the world, and they counseled her to have a late-term saline abortion, which is a saline solution that is injected into the mother's womb. The baby gulps that solution, it burns the baby inside and out, and then she is to deliver a dead baby within 24 hours. And to everyone's great shock and surprise, I didn't arrive dead but alive on April the 6th, 1977 in a Los Angeles County abortion clinic. I've done some research on the man that performed the abortion on me. And his clinics are the largest chain of clinics in the United States of America, and they gross $70 million a year. I read a quote from him at some point several years ago, and he said, "I have aborted over 1 million babies, and I consider it my passion." I tell you these things because, listen, ladies and gentlemen, we are in an interesting battle, whether we realize it or not, in this world. It is a battle between life and death. What side are you on?
Stephen Pam will tell you that we fought together in the Illinois State Senate against restrictive choice legislation, laws just like the federal abortion laws.
When I testified before an Illinois State Senate committee about my experience, Barack Obama was unmoved and actually opposed the Born Alive Infant Protection Act, which was legislation designed to stop this barbaric practice of leaving delivered babies out to die. But this one guy, Barack Obama, thought that infanticide was acceptable and voted to protect it. Some people have said that Barack Obama was uninformed or may not have fully understood the implications of this bill, but he voted against it 3 times. That's calculated. But at the end of the day, his opposition was responsible for living babies being left out to die. And that is indefensible.
But if they make a mistake, I don't want them punished with a baby. I don't want them punished with an STD at the age of 16.
So a nurse called an ambulance and had me transferred to a hospital, which is absolutely miraculous. Generally, the practice at the time and up until 2002 was, in my country, was to end the life of an abortion survivor by strangulation, suffocation, leaving the baby there to die, or throwing the baby away. But on August the 5th, 2002, my extraordinary President Bush signed into law the Born Alive Infants Protection Act to prevent that from occurring anymore.
chance to fall in love. You should have seen her shining face.
Who is Kermit Gosnell?
I don't know.
You don't know at all.
Kermit Gosnell? No, I don't know.
Is he a politician? I don't know. Can I Google it?
No, that's not allowed.
I don't know.
You don't know who Kermit Gosnell is?
No.
I don't know. Kermit Gosnell.
Never heard the name before?
Gosnell. You should have picked her. I don't know. The question, I don't know.
Have you seen him anywhere?
No.
Never seen him on CNN or anything?
No.
Never heard the name?
No, I have not.
I do not.
Gosnell operated this clinic in West Philadelphia for 30 years before it was ultimately brought down for illegally prescribing painkillers. But what investigators found was far worse. They described his clinic as a house of horrors, with blood-stained walls, unsterilized medical equipment, and fetal remains stored in the employee refrigerator.
It is clear that this person was not following the rules, and we have a role in society of making sure that those people who don't follow the law pay the consequences of not following the law.
One some hope to remove.
This year alone, just in these last 4 months, we've saved 10 babies. The most recent was just a week ago.
Elaine Russo runs the Hope Pregnancy Center, not far from where Gosnell practiced. It's on track to save more lives than it did last year, 27. The center is the brainchild of Pastor Herb Lusk, who ministers in the heart of the inner city.
1 out of every 2 pregnancies in the African American community right now are aborted. 1 out of every 2.
Lusk says he decided to start the center after he noticed women in the church who, in his words, were pregnant one Sunday and no longer pregnant the next.
I kept seeing them, what is going on? And realized that with all the abortion mills in our neighborhood, that many of them were using abortion almost as birth control. At that point, I knew that I had to do something, and just talking about it was not going to be enough.
Even now, with the clinic closed and Dr. Gosnell convicted, many in the pro-life movement say the fight is far from over. They worry there may be many other clinics that may be operating under the radar, just like Kermit Gosnell's clinic did.
And you made the only choice you could that night. And you gave life to me, a brand new world to see, like playing baseball in the yard with Dad at night.
I should be blind, I should be burned, I should be dead. And yet I'm not. You know what is fantastic vindication is the fact that the abortionist had to sign my birth certificate. So I know who he is. And it also says for any skeptic listening on my medical records, born during saline abortion. Ha! They didn't win.